Hey, you. Subscribe. You're watching Radio Free Cybertron. Hosted by Brian Kilby with JD Church, John DeLuna, XV, Amy Morgan, and Rob Clay. For the latest Transformer news, reviews, and more, visit tformers.com.
Hey, this is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 339, recorded... I have to move my bottle here to see the date. 11/27/2013. I'm your host, Brian Kilby. And with me this week, I have Melvar. He's joining us this week. We have Diecast, JD,
Sorry.
Don.
We're sorry.
And Rob Clay. Rob Clay is back. Rob's been off for a few weeks. Rob, welcome back.
Hi.
And first time ever that we've had Rob Springer on as well. So we've never actually had Rob and Rob on, I don't think. So I don't know how
we're dueling Robs.
I don't know how I'm going to do this.
I have already had to stop myself from coming a couple of times.
I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I listen to the show on my iPod while I'm working, and every time y'all talk to Rob, you go, "Hey, Rob," I'm like, "Yeah." and people are just look at me like, "What the hell is that?"
So that's the thing. When you are on a podcast and you listen to podcasts with your friends who are also on the podcast, and when they mention you, like I get mentioned on Superhero Time, I want to comment on what's being said. And it's a challenge not actually yelling at them.
Particular when we say things.
Yes. It's really weird. Really
that
weird.
You want to yell at.
That's exactly right. So, so this is, we haven't had this many people on the show in a while. I tried to not have this many people on, but my God, it's Rob Springer and Rob Clay and Melvar. So
Melvar, what's up, Matt?
What's up?
His name's Matt.
His real name's Matt.
Okay, good. Because I've been calling him Matt the whole time at Shardicon. I was kind of worried.
Yeah. No,
Oh, you're fine.
it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so Melvar was...
You'd be amazed what I answer to. So
Yeah, so for people who don't know, Melvar is one of our faithful fans. We met him at Sharkticon, and we really liked him. We've had him on a couple of Transformers Rewinds, and I said, hey, why don't you hop on the show this week? We'll see how things go. So it's pretty awesome. And Scaleface just said that he yells at this show all the time.
I know, right? Hey,
we yell at you too. So.
I don't doubt it.
Let's play. Let's play the Scaleface magic. Man, third party's terrible. I'm not looking at the chat. How many curse words?
Well, it has to post. So here's a second. They'll probably be there now.
that third party bubble's about to burst any day now.
Oh yeah,
Man, it is already gone. It's nothing but the same old toy over and over. It's like the Beehive 2 years ago, but someone else doing it. Okay, watch the anchor. Oh, he's pissed.
Yes. So let's see here. Let's start things off this week with This Week in History. So this week, 11 years ago, 2002, makes me feel really old. Armada number 4 was released by Dreamwave.
Oh God.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, 11 years ago in 2002.
Yeah. 2000. Jesus, right? Turn off the news already.
So
well, at least Dreamwave's not doing anything anymore, so at least you can be like, well, that probably was a while ago. I haven't heard of
Well, we could argue they weren't really
Dreamwave.
doing anything then either. It
well,
just kept coming out.
no, so the G1 comic was terrible. The Armada comic was great for the first 5 or 6 issues before Furman jumped on.
Yeah.
Then it kind of went...
Remember how excited we were too for Furman? We're like, dude, Furman's coming back.
Yeah,
this is gonna be
we
the best thing ever.
hated Chris Terracini on the G1 comic, but he was awesome on Armada. Then, yeah,
I will always
Yeah.
stick up for one issue maybe it's 2 issues during the Dreamwave G1, and that was the like little 2-issue story with like the Insecticons and like Jazz and Sideswipe and Sunstreaker. That was actually a pretty fun read. The rest of it was garbage, but I liked that. What was it? 1 or 2 issues? That's how much it meant to me.
I think it was 2, Rob, because I remember.
Yeah, that was fun.
There was a cliffhanger when. Yeah.
I don't remember it.
And it was
I
like
enjoyed
back to the
it.
crap.
I don't remember.
I remember enjoying the Armada comic.
Go ahead, Don.
Armada was great.
Oh, I remember enjoying the comics infinitely more than the cartoon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that's not saying much.
Yeah, not saying a whole lot. So, but yeah, so I don't remember much beyond the original miniseries with the Dreamwave comic. I probably blocked it out or just didn't read it. I don't remember, but I remember it not being great. Hey, so, hey, Rob Springer, have you been keeping up with Transformers Go?
I have, but to be quite honest with you, it's only like as much as I'm going to pay attention to something I'm not planning to buy for another year when it's on clearance.
So we have new images of Optimus Prime triple changer. I didn't realize he was actually a triple changer, but so if you go to T-Formers, you can see that story. He looks pretty cool. He looks different than pretty much any Optimus that we've had as of late.
Does anyone else notice the complete weird irony of this Go Optimus? Okay, they're hunting dragons. Hey, Optimus is a dragon. Do we kill him or not? Is he a good guy? What's going on here?
I don't know.
How you go from a subway train to a dragon anyway? This is the weirdest Prime ever.
It's up there.
Yet. Yeah, it's weird. I want it because of that. It's like, hey, he's not a truck. Good. Like 100 of those guys.
So last week we talked about the Fan Choice Award for the Masterpiece line, and Starsaber won out. So I don't know if this is like a rough sketch, possibly, of what the possibly what the heck is that?
It just looks like a rough sketch of Starsaber.
It does look like a rough sketch.
It doesn't even look Masterpiece.
It doesn't look like it transforms.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It looks
transforms
just
into
like a
Reinhardt.
sketch. It's like someone sketch a Starsaber. Here you go. Okay. I mean, there is nothing to this.
I don't know. I guess yeah. Maybe it's not.
The problem with these line arts of masterpieces is am I just looking at the cartoon model or the toy? Because it's supposed to be like the perfect version of the cartoon model, and you're like, okay, what am I looking at? Yeah, you never really know until they show you a picture. Dead air.
Yeah. Somebody talking to an animal or something?
Bumper's behind me.
Bumper. Is that Kristen?
Yeah.
Hey, Kristen.
Hi.
She can't hear you.
Okay. Bumper's awesome. But yeah, so yeah, it's definitely a sketch, but it's more intricate than the cartoon model, of course. So I mean, the cartoon model didn't, of course, have all of those components to it. I don't know.
It sure is Starsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a sketch of a Starsaber.
It sure isn't primal.
No.
Jerks.
No.
You bummed about that?
Not really. I mean, let's be honest. Who's going to win? You know.
I'm still kind of surprised it was Starsaber. It just seems like he was too much in the distant past, not quote unquote G1-ish enough. But
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, but at the same time, even though Armada Prime came out just 10 years ago, they're like a little too recent for, I guess, the group they're aiming for. They're aiming at like the late 20s, 30s something with disposable income, while the guys with Armada, they're in college. So they're probably like, this is a good aim. I mean, it's a good vote. Good vote.
Hey, I had money in college. It was all credit, but I had it.
yeah, I blew a lot of money on Transformers in college.
Oh, yeah, me too. Don't ask about the power bill, though. It was always behind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had plenty of toys. Let's use the lights on the toys.
Just remember, kids, if it's credit, it's not your money.
That's right.
Just remember, there's a million ways to cook ramen.
Yeah. The Keurig is the best way to do it. I thought it was disgusting when I first heard it, but if you take out the cradle that holds the K-cup, It's fantastic. You don't even taste the coffee.
You know, a lot of people did that in college too. I was always like, nah. My roommate would bake it.
Bake it?
Yeah, like lasagna. He'd put it in water and put it in the oven. It's like, hey, this is good. It's almost like we're not eating the same crap.
I would eat that. So we have an official page and images for MP-19 Smokescreen. Who else is buying this? I am.
Looks awesome.
Perhaps. I wouldn't mind getting them. I just don't. What I just clicked. I wouldn't mind. Oh, news. I wouldn't mind getting them. I just haven't gotten any of the new masterpieces since Soundwave.
So are you importing them? Or you have no desire to import?
I'd like to import them. It's just one of those things. It's like there's so much stuff at the moment. So I'm like I'm going to do the Hasbro gamble. Like, are they coming here? Maybe.
There's so little new stuff that I'm actually buying though domestically.
Which I would say they are. I mean,
yeah, I'd like them.
I don't know. I don't know that they'll be released. I mean, so many things are coming out.
Yeah, I'm willing to gamble. If not, I mean, I guess I just wait till I buy them off someone else. But wouldn't be the first time.
Smokescreen, Blue Streak and Prowl are so nice that I don't know. Of course, he's just a repaint, but he's a really nice repaint.
He's a remold. I mean,
and there's some slight remodeling.
Yeah,
the heads are different.
That's true.
Different heads, spoiler, bumper. I mean, guns,
siren bar. Yeah.
No bar.
See, Rob, you can do that, and your cat won't try to kill you.
No, he was begging for it, so pet him up. Then he wants me to put him down.
What was that?
Sure. That was bumper.
No, it sounded like you're spraying something. Hey, so this news popped up like the day after last week that we recorded, and I don't know if this has been debunked or if this was confirmed, but we got a first look at possible Grimlock from Age of Extinction as printed on a hoodie. Anyone else see that?
Yeah.
Yep. It's a thing that might be real.
Sure is a dinosaur.
Like a movie Transformer.
Yeah. Somebody had suggested that he kind of looks like Nightmare or something from Soul Calibur, and I totally see that.
Very, yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
The thing is, are we completely sure it's Grimmy?
I would
or
totally
some other
get
dino
that
bike?
too.
Yeah, I think it would be up in the air on who it actually is, possibly. Unless the breast here says one way or the other.
The Tyrannosaurus head formed the shoulders, didn't it?
Yeah, it does look like it. But if you notice the short, squat nature of it, those legs with those weird pointy feet look like they'd form a belly section. So it could be sort of like a smaller type dinosaur. Because let's face it, in these movies, what appears to be isn't always how it works.
This is true.
That could be Megatron.
It could be anything.
You guys, stop being ridiculous.
Beast Wars Megatron.
Nah, it's Bumblebee.
The internet will explode.
They already do.
Yeah.
Let's just watch them do it anyway. Like, hey, they're mad. Nerds.
This may be a fake because normally the only merchandise we get out of the movie is Bumblebee related, so...
I'm not complaining. Let's get some dinosaur dudes.
Let's see here. So we got a first in-hand sample of Treadshot from the subscription service 2.0. Did you guys check that out? What is anyone else? Is anyone interested in this besides me?
I mean, I like that.
That
Micron is nice. I have that Micron. It's one of my favorite because it's pretty versatile. But, I guess if you're getting the set, you already know if you're getting it or not. So, but it's okay.
If I had known about the Micron beforehand, I think I might. It would have made me buy the whole set. but I definitely would have been more interested overall if I had known that was coming with it, because I had that Micron with the wind charger, and just in the original colors it was very blah, but that looks great with that figure.
Yeah, as far as this mold goes, I think it's a really good use of that mold, and it looks different enough that I can totally justify having this on my shelf.
I was already sold really before they even announced the microns, and I saw it. I was like, "Hey, that's just more icing to the cake." Then they showed the picture. I'm like, "Oh, cool! He's 2 colors." So there's no complaints from me at all. I mean, somebody's gonna be unhappy, but let's just point and laugh. That looks pretty cool.
Are you doing the subscription service, Rob?
Oh yeah, I did it. I did the last one. No problem.
So, what as far as since you haven't been on, we haven't actually spoken. What's your favorite figure from the first series?
First series is totally Ultra Mammoth, because that's pretty much the main reason I subscribed. It was like, I want this dude, and the other ones I could give or take, and then I was like shopping for the prices for individuals. I was like, screw it, I'll just get all 6, because it's like, I think $100 people were pre-pricing them for. I'm like, screw that. Yeah, basically Ultra Mammoth. Does anyone else have like obvious mold degradation issues?
I haven't with Ultra Mammoth.
Yeah, mine was like the ball joint seemed a lot looser than on my big convoy and Nemesis. Nemesis Prime, yeah.
The gauntlet things like under his that are attached to his elbows are a little loose.
The Tonfos?
Yeah, the Tonfos.
Mine, it's the the missile launcher things, like how they slide out to side. It's like it will not stay in place. And I'm like, well, this is a 12-year-old mold.
Mine are not. Yeah,
now
mine,
the missile thing.
Mine are in place just fine.
A lot of people have been complaining about the missiles, and I didn't break out mine. Other ones to compare.
I haven't actually.
The only thing wrong with mine is.
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead, Don.
Oh, the only thing wrong with mine is one of the front feet that become the hip guards. That ball joint just keeps popping off like crazy. But actually, after transforming my black big convoy, it actually has some tighter joints than it does. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they went back and fixed
It's probably
anything.
just like of a draw thing.
So I've got mine on camera right now, and I'm showing off. This part here is a little floppy at his elbow, but otherwise he is pretty tight. I don't really have any complaints as far as the as far as that goes. It's just that right here he kind of has these just don't want to stay in place. But overall, I mean, I'm very satisfied with mine. I'm glad that mine's
totally
not
happy
junky.
with mine too. I think I just got the one.
Yeah, he's definitely the reason that I subscribe to the subscription service. And I'm certain that Thrustinator will be my favorite from the next, at least based on appearances.
How can he not?
Yeah, I know, it's pretty awesome.
It's like somebody's fanfic became a toy.
But it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I wrote it back in ATT.
On
John's gonna
ATTF.
shoot me. I'm gonna stop.
No, you have to keep going. When are we going to have the three of you on again? Like never. So we need to abuse this while we have it. So what about this Platinum Edition Year of the Horse Optimus Prime?
That sure is him
It
again.
needs to be shot.
You don't what
That's
don't
just my advice.
what don't you like about it, Don?
Well, I mentioned this in pre-show. The gold just does not look right on that character. It looks like he tried to bling himself out to impress Elita 1, and it just went terribly, terribly wrong.
Well, he's street, man.
It's Italian Prime.
Yeah.
Lots of gold.
It's just the gold does not look right with that paint. That's just.
Well, it's got to do something to stand out and be different. Otherwise, how is it? Like the special Year of the Horse edition. I mean, what makes it stand out? So, I mean, I guess they could have made it more like metallic paint or something. But I think gold definitely separates it from the original MP-10.
I
was
like
totally
it.
hoping
I
for
don't
a
think
horse
it's
trailer.
too obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's too obnoxious either.
I don't know. I think it's pretty gaudy.
I'm pretty
You know,
okay
it's
with
just-
it.
It's just a good classic clean design, and the gold doesn't really add anything. It takes away from the overall aesthetics.
I mean, I'm not crazy about it, but I think to separate it, it works well enough. And this whole, with the packaging featuring all this gold, text and stuff, which they tend to, I mean, it kind of fits the motif anyway.
I mean,
Yeah,
totally
and
the
missed an
trailer's kind of
opportunity, though.
nice.
The
They
trailer's
totally-
nice. They could have done the gun gold. They didn't. They could have done the axe gold. They did that clear to match the trailer. I mean, there are things here that are really nice about this figure. That's why I was saying I just don't think the gold's overdone. They could have really gone crazy with it, and they didn't.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah, it could be another lucky draw prime, and it's all gold chrome, and you can never touch it.
Well, what they missed the golden opportunity with Year of the Horse. They totally could have made it Jerry Reed's truck from Smokey and the Bandit, because it had that badass mural on the trailer with the horse.
Yeah.
And then we could have got a companion toy. They could have used a Trax alternator and made him black, make him the Bandit.
Oh God!
Yeah, you guys.
Oh,
Year of the
geez.
Horse Awesome Edition. And the quote for Trax had just been, ha ha!
Actually, is there a lucky draw version of this Prime, Don, that you know of?
Of this prime, no, not that I know of.
So
I know there's one for
There's
MP.
one.
I would like to have a silver version of this and have like a Return of Optimus Prime.
Oh, when he's coated in anti-platium. Okay.
Yeah, whatever it was. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Plot
No,
device.
And plot. Okay, plot device. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so it would be nice to have. I would probably buy that. I would probably be one of 5 people. Because I love the Return of Optimus Prime so much, but I would first have to have a Masterpiece Galvatron to go with it.
You guys think they're going to make a black one?
Haven't they already?
Yeah, they already have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Think they're going to make another black one? Oh.
And we may even get a shattered glass version of this at some point. Maybe E-Hobby or
Oh, geez, Louise, I hope not.
a
I think
Wonder
I'd
Fest.
welcome that more, just because it's like 50 black versions. Guys, there's other dark colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be
Well, I
brown.
have to admit, on that mold, the purple and black with the gold highlights, if they translate what they did on the Reveal the Shield Prime from BotCon to that larger toy, that could be visually pretty impressive.
Yeah. I'd like Combat Hero Prime in a Masterpiece, just because I
Oh,
always
yeah.
like that Deco. Yeah. They're not going to, but you know.
I would have to have the missile launcher.
Oh, yeah.
Heck,
Well,
I voted for RID Prime as the masterpiece, and I keep getting laughed at by everybody.
I don't think
Deservedly
I'd
so.
that. Well, the thing is, that toy is pretty much close to a masterpiece already, so they could have just did
Thank you.
issue.
Thank you.
I mean, it's posable. I mean,
Yeah, well, they say it's posable. I've never been able to get more than, hey, he keeps dropping his arm. But
well, I mean, not the Super Fire Convoy, but just Fire Convoys posable.
yeah. I remember just being like, oh man, I can't wait to get that. I'm so broke. And it's, oh, they're coming to America. I can buy that for $20. I'll get it. Oh, man. Oh. Because I just want to put him in all these awesome poses, and all I can make him do is stand up.
Yeah, Super Fire Convoy pretty much sucks. Fire Convoy is a competent mold on his own.
He's a very good-looking toy, but as far as, well, that's unfair, though, because whenever you say the word combiner, it's like, hey, quit posing it. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Oh, this thing.
Oh, actually, that MP-10 mold in the crystal clear plastics, that would look pretty cool, I think, if it was done like the Lawson's Revenge of the Fallen Prime from a couple years ago.
No, fair
Because
enough.
I saw that at BotCon, and it was, when the light hits it, it's just a great figure.
I guess the only real use of this mold that I would have any interest in is one that's already coming out, which is going to be that Ultra Magnus. I am really interested in seeing what that looks like.
More for the engineering than anything.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they're not upscaling the titanium one for Magnus for the masterpiece.
God.
Please don't talk about that figure.
It could be awesome.
Skycast paid money for that figure.
Yeah.
I would have too if I ever found it.
I mean, I paid like $20-25 for it, so I didn't overpay, but it was years of thinking this is going to be the greatest figure ever, and then I got it, and I was like, well, that was a waste of a couple years.
That's the problem with really wanting a figure is you think all the time, like, this is going to be the best thing ever, and you get, you're like, it doesn't really peg in, does it?
Also, last up in the non-third-party news, it's kind of third-party, but it's kind of not. BMOG has 15 days left as of this recording, and it's past the 50% mark. It's at 11,500 out of 19,000. So if you haven't gone in and backed this, do it! It looks really awesome, and Trent and company have gone in and actually shown off some more potential designs, and they look pretty slick.
Yeah, those things are neat.
Like right here, like this Falcon, looks really nice.
I like the dinosaur not dinosaur team they did. That's pretty neat.
So I'm really hoping to see this happen.
Me too. Who all backed? I mean, other than me and Brian.
Anybody else?
I haven't yet.
I have not yet either.
Put $1.
Put $1 in, just $1.
Yeah. Which ones you did, Brian?
I'd like to do 30, but
90. I did 90.
I just did 32. First, I did 20 because I wanted the what's the Bearsnell Arsenal, but I was like, I might as well get the Mantax and help them out more.
Exactly.
Yeah, the $90 tier is double down set, 2 sets of the Arsenal and Mantax in the Kickstarter exclusive color scheme, and 2 sets in the black retail color scheme. So that's 4 sets.
Wow.
Yeah. So that'll be.
What color are you going to vote on?
I haven't really thought about it yet.
I'm totally thinking orange.
Oh,
Mainly
that's awesome.
for the bear. The mantis probably won't look as good, but orange on that bear, I think there was a Zoids saber-toothed tiger that was like orange and white, and it just looked really good on that type of design.
Is XV in on it? Is XV getting a figure? Because if he is, totally vote against orange. That would be.
Actually, I'm not. I was hoping they would kind of do like. I know they're trying to steer clear of any copyright infringements, but if they colored the bear kind of like chain claw with the browns and the yellows and stuff, that would look pretty good. And
it's just one color though.
Well, they could do the rest with stickers.
Yeah.
Which they probably will, considering the way it's shaped. For people listening to the thing, I just did hands while holding pizza. You can figure out what I'm talking about.
Right. Hands while holding pizza.
Hands while holding pizza.
So everyone's watching I know what he's talking about. It's like triangle and there's things around it.
Hands with pizza? Yep, I got it now.
Will you say bacon cheesy bread?
I'm really hungry. Let's not talk about food. So, jumping to third-party news and sort of getting back to the MP-10 discussion, a company called Collection Kingdom, I'm putting company in quotes, they've announced...
a collection of people.
Yeah. They've announced they are doing a KO of the MP-10 mold, which is ballsy as hell, with improvements, including eye opacity. They're going to scrape over, it looks like, the chest screws. Pardon me, actually, they're going to fix the eyes, they're going to fix the chest screws, the fuel tank, the issue of the index finger falling off, which has bugged me with mine. Uneven chest, the black lid for the Matrix is difficult to open, that's true. And a couple other things. So we'll see how that actually turns out. Usually when something is knocked off like this, it adds problems. It doesn't take them away. So I'll be really interested in how that actually happens.
And by interested, you mean skeptical?
Very skeptical, yes.
Okay.
It's kind of ballsy to come out and be like, "We're stealing your design and we're making it better." I don't know how they're going to accomplish that. It makes no sense to me.
Well,
And I really hope it's at Big Lots.
Yes.
Well, actually, Diecast, that's not the first time that another would be when iGear took the Seeker mold and changed it so you didn't have those big, huge wing flaps off the side and put the connectors on the legs.
That's true. But that's a really big change. This is talking about small, granular changes, which are usually. It sounds like it's a refinement of the mold, less so than a drastic change. And when something is knocked off, the mold is not refined. It's usually becomes abstracted, and you lose detail instead of adding detail. So
the clock becomes a yin.
I'm very skeptical. Yeah, very skeptical.
And then you get protected. You get Technobots and a Minosaur gift set.
Yes.
Why is Blight purple?
Yeah. So, new photos of Ares from TFC Toys, which is one of the not Pretty Kings. It's nice looking.
That don't look bad.
Of course, if you show one of them to me and then the other to me, I probably can't tell the difference. And in fact, the next story is about one of the other Pretty Kings. But this one doesn't. I mean, it looks nice.
I can't tell by the names because the names are just like blasé words made up to describe something vaguely. But when I see the pictures, I'm like, all these are pretty nice looking to me, all three. So I'd really hate to have to make that decision of which one I'm going to buy.
But you don't get.
I'm not going to, but I'd hate to have to make that decision.
You don't have to decide. You just refinance your home and then.
It's only like $900 for each one. Hell.
Yeah. John DeLuda had actually tweeted, and we had retweeted it. It's pretty awesome. A third-party combiner costs as much as or more than 1 month's rent in a nice apartment, a full-size fridge, a 64-gigabyte iPhone, and this is now normal. It's true, and it's pretty crazy.
I had one apartment that was $1,200 a month, and I'm like, I still wouldn't have bought that robot at that time.
Mm-hmm.
My mortgage is a lot less than that. That's why I haven't moved.
Yep.
I ain't moving back there. It's $1,200 a month. Jesus.
But yeah. So that's that's Ares. The other that we have photos of. Let's see here. Is it Sharp Claw? Is that the name of it? From Unique Toys.
It's Mr. Kitty Cat, and you'll like it.
Or Sharp. Okay, yeah, okay. That's a Razor Beast, right? No, Razor Beast was the Rhino.
Something else.
They should really just call these like people names. Just like this one's Jim, this one's Earl.
No.
Yeah, Jimmy.
No, name them all Steve. Here's Steve.
It's just a name on the box. I mean, it's like, hey, here's Super Aerial Darn Sauce Lion Robo. And it's like, who is he?
But here's the Unique Toys Pretty King beside of Giant. And it's really impressive looking.
Yeah, they were the first ones out with their the Predaking sets. The first first dive bomb came out from them, as a matter of fact.
So the Unique Toys. So Hercules is still better than Giant, right? In most people's opinion.
No.
Other way around.
Well, I don't know about other people's opinion, but my opinion is Giant is a lot more G1, and I like
and
Giant
Hercules
a lot better.
Is a lot bigger.
Yeah, Hercules is a lot bigger and more, I don't know, brought into the 21st century, I guess.
So in this whole third party combiner thing, then it sounds like TFC is the one that has their stuff together. Best. Is that FansProject? Or does FansProject have their stuff together?
Yeah, FansProject is.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
And also Mastermind Creations. Mastermind Creations is the one that was doing the other Predaking that looked really nice.
It's
Out
so
of
hard
the
to
three,
keep up.
I think Mastermind Creations is on top. TFC is the one that did the Superion, which
has issues.
Yeah, it has a lot of issues, and you had to buy an extra upgrade kit to make it look right. I got the upgrade kit in the mail last week. I still didn't open any of the figures. I have all the figures, and I didn't open them. I'm just so frustrated with TFC and that figure and the fact that I went all in on it.
Help me out. Well, if you would like to send them to me, I would be happy to review it for you.
You can work something out.
Help me out here. Is the kit to make him look more like the original toy, or does he look that much different? See, I think I would like that because it's like, sure, it's a third-party Superion. It's supposed to be like a classics version, but if it's 6 members, it's not going to look that much like him, you know?
Right.
So it's like, let's get a little... I think I'd like when they change up the designs, though, so I may be in the odd man out here.
And basically with the kit, they take that little extra figure that they added in there and you throw it out the window because with the kit you don't need him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I think Rob, when you're talking about Giant versus Hercules, I think Superion was the Uranus Superion was a letdown. 'Cause a lot of people that I know bought Hercules just could not believe the Superion turned out like that. It's just
I am one of those people. I was expecting a lot more out of the aerial bots, but I'm still happy with Hercules.
Oh yes, I mean, if you want a classic version of the Constructicons, you go with Hercules. But like Podcast said, if you want a more G1 look, you probably would go with Giant. It depends on your aesthetics.
Giant's cheaper by a good margin, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'd
Giant
want.
was like $350, I think.
Which is the one that had the G2 version? I can't remember.
Giant.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
one.
that actually came out first, didn't it?
Yeah, the G2 version, the yellow one came out first.
I was completely checked out when those came out, and I was just like, yeah, there's third-party Devastators, and I didn't pay any attention.
The TFC one got a shattered glass set.
Hey,
now, Brian, I know
that one looked nice.
Hey, Rob Springer.
Brian, I know you mentioned this earlier.
Rad.
Long time ago. Perseus, which is the recolor of Hercules, is one of the things on Big Bad Toy Store's sale, the Black Friday sale for $3.99.
Really?
So
it's nice looking.
Yeah, the shattered glass version.
If I had money right now and it wasn't Christmas time and I have to buy gifts for everyone, I would definitely try and pick this up for that price since everyone says that it's such a good mold.
Well, if you hadn't bought 8 PlayStation 4s.
So yeah, my Transformers budget is pretty much going toward, or my third-party budget's going towards Smart Robin, which just apparently shipping right now. We have a gallery on Keyformers.com, and it is such a nice-looking figure. Between the two not brainstorms, this is for me, I think, the one to go with. Faceplate missing notwithstanding. It just looks really nice.
You guys want to see my G2 Devastator?
Well, I've not seen your video, Rob, so...
There you go. Yep.
Creon.
Oh, yeah, I've got... Yeah. Thanks, Rob Clay, for that.
Sure.
I still love it. So, so when we were at the Universal Studios thing, they had this gift basket with all the stuff in it. And I really wanted Devastator. Rob really wanted Devastator. And I think we were both sort of like a Mexican shootout or standoff where we were figuring out
the non-racist version.
Well, yeah, like we were trying to figure out what we were, who's going to do. I think Rob, I ended up giving like Rob basically everything. Mm-hmm. And I got that. He got the chocolate. He got the Allspark chocolate. So
yeah, family loved the chocolate Allspark. So
was it good chocolate?
It was decent chocolate. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't like
Palmer's
super.
Or
no,
Zachary?
Definitely not Palmer's. Oh, thank God.
Chocolate wax.
It was slight. I'd say it was slightly above Hershey in terms of chocolate grade. In fact, so
I think Hershey is fine.
Hershey is fine. I mean, I prefer other brands because I actually saw a thing on this. Hershey actually does curdle the milk slightly to make it. I always thought there was a kind of slightly sour milkish aftertaste to Hershey's chocolate, and it turns out yes, that is part of the process.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do they do their Cadbury any differently? Because Cadbury in the U.S. is actually just produced by Hershey.
I think they must do Cadbury differently than that because I think Cadbury chocolate is freaking delicious. So I'm pretty sure. Licensing. Yeah,
they have to follow the formula. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am so happy to see they do a Christmas version of Cadbury mini eggs now.
Yeah, those are
I'm
awesome.
always so
Oh, man.
confused about the whole Cadbury Hershey's thing because Cadbury Schweppes is who makes Dr. Pepper, yet Hershey's does Cadbury in America. So I'm like, is there two Cadburys?
Cadbury UK, Cadbury in US is licensing of.
So yeah, there's Cadbury US, and then Hershey does Cadbury eggs.
I feel like a very bad fat person because I have no idea what you guys are talking
then like
about.
Nestle across the world, Nestle makes Kit Kat. In the US, Nestle is it Hershey or Mars?
I think it's Hershey.
Yeah,
I just
Yeah,
know
that's
that there's
Kit Kat.
chocolate and it goes in my face.
I
That's all.
I will.
That's all I know.
I'm still
Picky.
kind of pissed off that the Poor Brothers took over Tato skins from Keebler. I'm like, how did that happen?
How really?
They
I didn't know that.
I used
Yeah,
to
like-
love them, Rob. I used to love them.
They still make them, but it's made by the Poor Brothers. Go to like dollar stores, and they either have them in Tato skins or in TGI Friday bags. It's the same chip.
Yeah.
They just different bags for different stores.
Wow.
Fatty.
This is an amazing discussion.
How about them third-party Tato skins?
So what about Smart Robin? Anyone else want that besides me?
Oh yes,
Which one?
As soon as we hang up, I will be paying for him.
Nice.
I've already paid for it.
Let me look at the picture. There was one of the three I really liked, and I can't. Like I said, these names I cannot tell which one's which.
Is that the one I saw an animated GIF of the transformation for, like, sometime this week?
Probably.
No, that's Captain Cool.
Because you guys all know what I saw. I mean, obviously. But
Man, it's the internet, man. Say animated GIF. We don't know.
I really like how whoever did the photos for T-Formers, they show like each step of the transformation. Like it's almost like an instruction booklet that we're getting when you go through the photos on T-Formers. It's really nice. It reminds me of the transformation of Code with the chest plate. That chest plate seems to like swing away, and then he's still got the arms the panels that pull away, where shoulders move out. Like
XV is the one that posted the story, but I think it's Andy Napple. Andy Napple.
Oh, okay. This isn't the one I like, but this looks really nice. It's just I'm probably going against the grain. You know the one that turns into the X-wing that's got the weird face?
Yeah, I don't like that one.
I really like it. I think it is because of the weird face.
That's the Toy World version, isn't it, Don?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, he could be somebody else. He could be a brand new character. I wouldn't care. I just kind of like that weird alien face he's got. I'm not buying it, but
I just, I'm definitely as far from a G1er as you can get, but I just really wish.
Really, Headmaster Don?
I mean, as far as
that's G2, man.
Yeah, G2 all the way, man. But I do wish Smart Robin had. I thought maybe it was like a hidden feature that he would have the face. For some reason, I just really want a faceplate for.
Oh yeah, me too. I do. I totally do. But the overall aesthetic wins me over.
It came in like a wrecking ball and took you over.
Yeah. Well, now, one thing about this picture, y'all, take a look at that weird wolf, the quadruple U.
Yeah.
Those hands are not the hands that the figure comes with.
Huh?
Yeah, Melvar, you've got him right.
They are different hands. Yep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so is that
the picture back up?
Those hands look really long and
they're
strong, and they're about to get the friction on.
So
where did those come from?
I have
That's
no
a
idea.
prototype. I
haven't heard of any.
Oh no, look, the paw flips back on the forearm.
Yeah. So that the hand goes flush against under the arm and the paw comes down?
Could that be an add-on?
I haven't seen anything about it. This is brand new.
Let me look at my figure, see if there's any way to flip the paw back like that.
No, I've got mine right here, and the paw will go back at like a perpendicular to the arm, but it won't go any further back than just like this.
I don't know. Bend it more.
When you hear it cracking, push it a little more.
Okay. Hey, guess what? We have photos of Warbot Revolver in third-party roundup.
Yeah.
Third-party not Roadbuster.
Which looks
nice.
really nice.
It does look really nice.
That looks really nice.
And, you know,
Surprisingly,
like
it looks like Roadbuster.
I know.
and they have them at. If you look at the pictures, they have them at a size in between the not broadside, not Springer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely. This is my favorite so far of these. Yeah, I want it. I don't know that I'll buy it.
Who's making this one?
This is Fans Project.
Yeah.
and
It's the next in the Warbot series.
Oh, okay.
you know, I'm not sure what a G1 Roadbuster would go for nowadays, but I have to imagine if you have one with all the weapons.
Loose
packed,
complete about 120, I think, something like that.
Wow. So this will be a good way for someone to get a Roadbuster in their collection without having to pay for the G1 one.
Yeah, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the broadside assaulter?
Yeah.
I like it okay, but I definitely prefer this one.
Yeah, this one's nice. I guess Roadbuster is one of those designs that's probably really lends itself to these things because it's like kind of he's big burly robot turns into big burly Jeep thing.
Well, Animated Plastic says in the chat that it's so blocky, but I mean that's part of the character. I mean he's basically just this big hulking robot who will shoot you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's he's big and blocky because if he was round, it wouldn't be him.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, it would definitely not have the same effect.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a bunch of boxes together and he will punch your lights out.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. And actually, one more news item popped up in the course of recording. We have some on-set photos from Age of Extinction, and we have Michael Bay holding this big claw thing. I just like the photo. Michael Bay holding a big claw thing.
Obviously, that chick is getting attacked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It looks like there's Beast Hunter 2-packs at Walmart tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Did I see that cover of Entertainment Weekly or whatever that had Prime on it?
Yeah.
That sword looks very Master Sword like.
There's Bumblebee.
I don't know if you've seen it. But,
I haven't. I actually haven't seen it yet. I knew that it was coming out.
So it didn't end up in the news, but yeah, the sword on there that Prime is carrying is very Master Sword like. I think anyway. I may be wrong.
Well, I mean, most of the stuff in the movie is very Transformers like.
Yeah, thanks.
It's
they're gonna have a Prowl in a 2-pack.
Is it good like Sunkissed? I mean, that's our rating scale with Mark Wahlberg in it now. We've dumped up a level.
Right. Bumblebee.
Yo, Optimus, that sword is good like Sunkiss. Make you want to know who done this. And then he just cuts his head off. Shut up.
I am completely oblivious to what you're talking about, Rob.
That's Mark Wahlberg, yo. His hit singing career.
Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Funky Bunch, okay.
He just ran. You don't remember him saying the vibration's good like Sunkissed?
No.
It's like, well, that's a good comparison, I guess. It's not
Sunkissed
quite
is a
Orange
good drink,
Fanta.
man.
It is. It's not Orange yet because you got more than $1.
Yeah.
Why is everyone saying my puns are bad?
Because they are, Don.
My jokes are not that bad.
That's why we love you.
I'm calling you, Don. Find Dragon Quest VIII for your PS2.
If your jokes were good, you wouldn't be Don.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Dawn it again.
It's totally you, No-san. Don't worry about it.
It's okay, Don.
Well, it
Yeah,
looks like I
Paladin
dawned it again.
Paladin called me no son all the time.
Let's go ahead and jump to. Hey, Rob, are we gonna have comic Rob Clay? Are we gonna have comic news this week?
Yes, we are. We've got the next chapter of Dark Cybertron. I think that's Robots in Disguise number 23. And we've got Regeneration One number 96, which is not as funny this week because it's actually a pretty decent issue. Actually.
Good, sweet. We'll go ahead and jump to that. After that, we'll have Q&A with the other Rob Springer. And after that, we will have Transformers Rewind, which is Beast Wars episodes Nemesis, parts 1 and 2. The last episode, yeah. So we'll be back right after this.
Warning. The following segment may contain spoilers for the most recent Transformers comic books. So we missed last week's recording. Because cow.
Yes.
Longtime listeners of Superhero Time will understand exactly what I'm talking about. And for anybody else, it's just confusing, and I like it that way.
Yes.
So Dark Cybertron number 1 Deluxe Edition came out. There's not any different story to it, but there's a whole second issue's worth of script and notes and layout art from Phil Jimenez, which I thought was really valuable to be able to read alongside the story.
Yeah.
We kind of had some conceptual problems with how Dark Cybertron number 1 came out, and I think for double issue price, it's really worthwhile to have the deluxe edition. As if you're only going to have one copy of the book, have the deluxe edition. It will drastically improve your reading experience of that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you already have it, probably best to wait and see if they collect it with the trade paperbacks, but...
Yeah, that would be good too. I really do hope all that material does end up in the trade, because I would hate to have people forced to double dip or otherwise lose that content.
Yeah.
So more importantly, last week there was More Than Meets the Eye 23, Chapter 2 of Dark Cybertron. We had concerns with that.
Yeah, it was just not clicking at that point.
No, it was not quite as frantic as Dark Cybertron number 1, but there was still a lot going on, and it was not really tightly packaged together.
Yeah, and
art conflicts.
Yeah, art conflicts and dividing the story 3 ways, which is tricky.
Or 5 ways, depending how you want to look at it.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of subdivision in that, and yeah, there wasn't really time for anything to come together, and there was a lot of John Barber in the writing of everything. And there's places that just didn't fit.
Yeah.
Now, this week, we are talking about Robots in Disguise 23.
And that is much more like it.
Yes. Yes, it is. The scenes on the Lost Light feel like More Than Meets the Eye dialogue.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's the one inset panel with Getaway when they're explaining Metroplex's thumb. And it's just perfect. And I love, too, that they're calling back to Spotlight Trail Cutter from the previous series of Pack-In comics. That it feels like it fits together really nicely.
Yeah, and I love the conversation Ultra Magnus was having about idiomatic expressions and all that. That was
about. Yeah, the More Than Meets the Eye scenes dialogue was a lot more. It was tight and focused. It was what we wanted out of the More Than Meets the Eye issue.
Yeah.
So on that side of things, it turned out really well. So when I wrote this for T-Formers, I added a new section to the review. Because, these are Pack-In comics with toys. And I was thinking, let's see how these toys make out. So this is Skywarp's issue. He's packed with this issue. And, he's got his nice cover and everything. And then, in the book, how many times does he show up? Just guess.
Well, I don't have to guess because I read the review.
Yes, he shows up 2 times. 2 times he shows up in the book. Not a word of dialogue. Not anyone saying the name Skywarp at all.
And when I reread this, I managed to before this segment, I managed to miss him entirely. I did not even see him.
I missed him entirely on my first read-through.
Mm-hmm.
It's as if he's not there. He's just in crowd scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd scenes. And then one of them, he's not even completely there because he's in mid-teleport.
Of course.
Now, meanwhile, Scoop, who, of course, was coming packed in with last month's More Than Meets the Eye 23, he didn't really come off so well in that issue.
Mm-hmm.
He spends the whole time locked in jail and, generally fawning over Starscream after Starscream has him falsely imprisoned.
Mm-hmm.
But meanwhile, this issue, not only is he drawn a lot better, but he's portrayed in a really heroic light at the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
It just... misassignment?
I would say, because for one thing, this could have been, if you were going to assign this book to anybody, you could make a strong case for Rat Trap, too. And, I half expect Rat Trap to be not in the issue that he ends up coming with.
Yeah, watch him die, 2 issues before the issue that he's packed with Prince.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think anybody involved with this project is paying attention that much to who's in what issue gets packed with what toy.
It makes you wonder exactly how close they are coordinating. I mean, to a certain extent, I'm happy that they're not undertaking this huge complex crossover, and I'm happy there's not somebody at Hasbro telling them, okay, you need Scoop in this issue doing things.
Even though it felt like that last issue.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because, last issue, Scoop basically delivers a big info dump.
Mm-hmm.
Basically establishing the whole Dark Cybertron prophecy for everyone, since it's only vaguely been hinted at. And even that's mostly just in interviews. But, anybody could have done that, and it actually makes almost no sense for Scoop to be the one with that information in the first place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's coming from both sides that Scoop's being forced into this issue and being forced to have a purpose that does not narratively make sense.
Yeah.
So, obviously, somewhere along the line, someone's saying, we need these characters in these issues. I don't think they're going back and checking how much these characters are in these issues, judging by
which
Skywarp.
Issues. Yeah.
Yeah, so Skywarp gets a whole, focus scene or whatever next month or the month after.
Mm-hmm.
Something slightly ridiculous is going on, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they changed the order these figures were shipping in at the last second or something.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah.
I was even thinking Skywarp appeared in the Decepticon crowd panel at the end of More Than Meets the Eye 23, but no, I'm pretty sure that was actually Blitzwing. So, technically, Skywarp hasn't even been among this crowd visibly until this issue, and he's just, barely there.
Of course.
Now, to his credit, after the 2-page splash, which I think looks really cool, he's not among the dead and dying. He still has all of his limbs, and he's not oozing black Kirby particles.
Like I said, I still haven't seen him.
So you haven't seen Skywarp at any point through any read-through of the issue?
Not yet, no. I'm going to have to go through and specifically look for Skywarp to find Skywarp.
Unfortunately, that's what I ended up doing before writing the review, just to figure out how many times he appeared in the book. Because, the second time I read through Robots in Disguise 23, I noticed him in the mid-teleport panel, but I had to go and look and see, did they put him anywhere else in this book, or does he show up one time only? In a way, I kind of think it's worse that he shows up twice just in crowd panels, as opposed to once just in a crowd panel.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, the story's tighter because it's really only focusing in 2 places. The Cybertron scenes kind of branch off a little bit, but everything basically crosses over at one point or another, so it still feels like it's all connected together.
Yeah.
Shockwave's part is bizarrely enough, tied in by Metalhawk.
Who I kind of expected would be coming back for some reason, but
At least we got this really great exchange between him and Starscream.
yes.
Yeah, I killed you, but I obviously didn't do it very well. So that's cool, right? Now, that's another thing that doesn't really make like narrative sense to me, at least as it's presented so far. You know, the Titan releases the wave of energy, which kills most of what it comes in contact with, but it also appears to revive Metalhawk. Now, I can understand that being a possible side effect since there's a combination of the death ore from Gorlin Prime and the resurrection ore that was in Crystal City. But in that case, is it also reviving other people who are dead on Cybertron somewhere?
That is a good question.
You know, if that ends up being shown in the next couple issues, the Metalhawk thing will make more sense, but if Metalhawk ends up being the only one who recovers from that, no.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to just be him. They've gone to all the trouble of establishing this stuff, so I suspect there will be more.
Now let's see. Ratbat, they could probably bring Ratbat back. And, other people.
Yes.
There's definitely other people.
Yes, there are, and I'm sure we will think of them, or someone will.
What's important is that they think of them.
Yes.
I guess.
Probably.
Okay, so is it just me, or is there like a very distinct difference in the look of the art on Cybertron before and after the wave?
I think so, yeah.
I can't figure out what that is, because it's not just like the finish. The structure of the drawings looks different between those pages.
I wonder if they've got someone else doing breakdowns again.
I don't know, but I don't think that would change the way the characters are drawn.
Maybe not.
And there's only the two artists credited on the book.
Yeah.
And even the James Rise stuff was looking less James Rise a little bit.
Yeah. That was, that was significantly less kind of entirely wrong for the book.
Slightly.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah, I mean, things seem to be proceeding back toward the right direction.
Yeah.
Both in writing and the art, and I'm pretty happy with how that's going so far.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be another 2 weeks before we get More Than Meets the Eye 24. Hopefully that will show, again, this much improvement over this book as this showed over the last and over Dark Cybertron.
Yeah.
If we can just gradually but progressively work back up the quality scale here, I don't think we're going to have as much problem as we were afraid of last week.
Yeah. I think even if we were to continue at this level of things, ultimately Dark Cybertron would be a success. But hopefully we will go up from here.
Yes. Yeah, there's never too far up to go.
No.
Okay, so finally we have Regeneration One 96.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, this one isn't going to be as funny as it usually is, because it's actually, a slightly better issue than we've been getting. So.
And boy, that B cover.
Yeah, the B cover is very nice.
That's some Guido right there.
Mm-hmm. I almost wish he had tried to go full in and do it in the Derek Yaniger style, but again, because Derek Yaniger style is what it is, kind of glad he didn't. So.
Well, we shouldn't forget the Derek Yaniger style, though.
No.
It's an important part of comic book history. Didn't he do the 90s version of Deathlock?
I don't remember.
Wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
Seems right up his alley.
Yeah.
But yeah, this actually was a pretty decent issue. I kind of was thinking back to the issue with Blaster and the other recovered Action Master characters.
Yeah.
Where there actually is effectively a complete narrative told in one part of the book.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important part is that this month the book has remembered, while it's going through all of its major, long-term plot points, it remembered to have something happening in the present.
Yes.
And this was very, very necessary.
Although I'm sure that won't be the last we see of Galvatron.
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, he's one of the big four thingies, so...
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have at least one thing more or less resolve in the space of an issue or so. The follow-up on Bludgeon was pretty good.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of one of the UK stories where there's a Decepticon begging Rodimus Prime for mercy, the same way Megatron did to Optimus in the movie, and Rodimus says, request denied.
Yeah.
Basically that same concept, except without Rodimus, murdering somebody point blank.
Yeah.
He's basically being movie Optimus without being movie Optimus.
Mm-hmm.
Not that wouldn't be an interesting take.
Well, yeah.
In one context, anyway.
Yeah.
We finally get back to the Earth and Nebulos plot, too. That's been missing for several issues.
Yeah. And it's proceeding, slowly. We have Optimus Prime building the space bridge on Earth and Circuit Smasher hovering around going, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you.
But boy, it'd be a shame if an electrical storm would just come through here and wreck the whole thing, wouldn't it?
Yes.
It's like Superman being a dick all over again.
Mm-hmm. Hey, all he had to do was put on the hat and go save Buster, and he couldn't put on the hat.
Hat. And on Nebulos, they're unheadmastering most of the headmasters, too.
Yeah. Yes, including, plot pointily enough, Fortress Maximus.
Who has something dark go in his head.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to be Don here for a second.
Oh, boy.
Dark Matrix creature plus Fortress Maximus equals Liege Maximo?
That would be... That almost works too well. I don't think you've succeeded in achieving a Don here.
True. True. It's actually feasible, so it's not a Don.
What this reminded me of, there was the one issue of Generation 2 which had the beings that fed on hate on that one planet.
Ah, yeah.
And this was represented in sort of the same way visually, but it's not the first or the last inky black thing.
No.
That'll rear its head in comics.
Oh, no.
Just Furman being Furman. The connection kind of formed in my head. You know how it does.
Yeah. It could well tie in.
But then by the end of the issue, we actually get into what's going to be most of the final story arc, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be some kind of convergence of G-Axis and his people plus whatever Fortress Maximus is now, and Circuit Smasher and Galvatron all in the same place, I'm sure. And it's going to be a mess.
More or less of a mess than the book has been already?
Well, I'm hoping an entertaining mess, so less.
I don't know. I don't have much hope on that.
I don't know. It could be fun, but well, again, this is starting to it's starting to get a little bit of better feel to it to me. So
we're 17 and a half issues into this now, and we've had 3 we legitimately liked.
Yeah.
I'm not liking the odds.
Yeah.
I mean, even at the most optimistic of the 4 issues that are left, we'll probably only like one of them. And I would
This is
bet
true.
issue 100 just because it'll be the last one.
Probably. Yes, wanted to ask your opinion. On that first page in the distant future, I'm saying that's Hot Rod because the shape of the spoiler is slightly different and his chest does not look as broad. Do you agree?
But isn't Rodimus Prime supposed to be the version that has the all-orange torso?
Maybe so.
I thought that's how you're mainly supposed to tell the difference.
I was never quite sure how you were supposed to tell the difference, so...
Well, you can't really look to the cartoon for advice because they could never tell the difference either in episodes where both forms had to appear. And I don't really think the old comics would be reliable either.
No.
So, yeah, that's a tough one. But, you know, if it's supposed to be an old, aged Hot Rod or Rodimus, it could make sense why his build has changed slightly. He's supposed to look older and more frail.
That's possible, too.
You've read Aspects of Evil, right?
Yeah.
You know, think about the changes to his appearance at the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the same concept here.
That would make sense.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Or not. Hard to tell with this book.
It is.
Radio Free Cybertron.
Transformers. Rewind.
This week on Transformers Rewind, it's the series finale, Nemesis Parts 1 and 2 from Beast Wars.
What? For everything that ever was.
I really am fond of Nemesis Parts 1 and 2. One thing, though, I guess just to get it out there, I never really understood, though, why is one part a Bob and Larry episode, and then they brought Furman in for some reason to do the other part?
Big name draw?
How are they going to draw this? The last episode. Are they drawing anything? Does anyone know that? You know everything, Philly.
Was it a sympathy thing? Was it like...
Did he do other episodes? Did he have something left over in his contract, so he had to do this one?
This is the only episode that he did, at least that I know of.
This is the only episode he did. Yeah.
It's certainly
weird. I mean, but it was at a time when he wasn't doing anything else.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's very much.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was almost a.
Is it like a?
I think it was almost like a sympathy thing, like hey.
And that episode sure is a Furman episode.
Everybody dies, but you can tell that the dialogues had a good, strong Bob and Larry pass.
Yeah.
But so in part 1, I am an unashamed, unabashed Depth Charge fan. I love Depth Charge, and I love his rivalry with X so much with Rampage, and the fact that it ended in such a wonderful huge scale. I think it's really fitting. I really did enjoy that. But so many things happened in this episode. It's the unraveling of the series, and Beast Wars was such a at the time. Even I'm thinking back. I'm like, that was forever ago. And then again, it wasn't, but it really was. Even at the time, we knew
it really was.
We knew
we are old.
Yes,
Brian. We are old.
But even at the time, we knew how important Beast Wars was to us as Transformers fans. Even then, it was maybe a little more impactful then because it was the only other thing besides G1, pretty much.
Yeah,
and some comics, but hell, who reads those?
Exactly.
But that was not untrue at the time, you know.
It's very true, but it was just like Nemesis was this. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Furman was in it to send it off because it was such a huge deal for fans. I don't know, but basically everything unraveled in this for the most part, and they towards the end, with the end of part 2, they really had to sort of squeeze stuff in. But what are some of your favorite parts of this episode, guys?
Well, I'd have to agree with the Depth Charge and Rampage thing. I think that was the best possible ending for those two.
Yeah, although I rewatching it, I was kind of like, Depth Charge promised he was going to stop the Nemesis, and he didn't even get close.
He got a little distracted there.
He totally got thrown off, what he was actually trying to do.
He met his Moby Dick, like right there in the ocean, so he had to do something.
Right. It's still, way to go.
Well, I mean, my favorite part of the interaction with them is when Rampage asks him if he remembers his friends. And he's like, and they were delicious too. I'm like, oh god,
tasty ones.
So wrong.
I guess his filters will adjust to that too.
But yeah, so pretty much the episode, I guess leading us up to that point, Inferno and Quick Strike, and I love Quick Strike and Inferno so much, and Waspinator are basically told they have to go out and they're finding a new base. So these are the post Dinobot humans, proto-humans.
Oh, I thought you were drawing a comparison with the G1 Dinobots.
No,
because I was going to say, because Inferno and Quickstrike have turned into complete schmucks by this stage.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
They did not used to be, but like the Dinobots, they turned into schmucks in the third season.
They totally did.
They're kind of the bulk and skull of Beast Wars, aren't they?
They are.
By that stage, absolutely. This is the one, isn't it, where Inferno pops out from behind the thin tree?
Yes, it absolutely is. But they face down the humans, and the humans fight back, and
they get beaten. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
By people with sticks.
And
against a transmetal fusor.
And like the scene for
really?
Like the second most important scene, but probably the most important scene for Waspinator in this season. Waspinator's like, screw you, I'm done. I'm tired of being a Predacon. I'm tired of getting the crap beaten out of me all the time. You guys do whatever, I'm done. Of course, then he gets blown up.
And then they blow him like, that was perfect.
But that's great. There was no other way to play that at all.
Yeah.
But things get pretty serious again, though, because this is when Depth Charge is basically said, hey, the Nemesis is underwater. I can't swim, so you've got to go take care of, you got to stop it for us no matter the cost. And he agrees.
And he doesn't even hesitate at that, and I loved that part.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hero. He really is. He's just, he's got a vendetta that he's got to take care of. But he's a Maximal through and through. But, of course, then he runs into Rampage. And sploosh. Bye-bye, guys. And then we're pretty much left with Nemesis unfettered, pretty much.
And, of course, you have to remember what a huge deal this was. Because this was the G1 ship. This is everybody was shitting their pants.
It's the dark side.
And I recall that there was a bit of controversy at the time, too, because there were several people that
name
were...
of the episode?
They were pulling the... Well, no. They were pulling the, wait a minute, the Nemesis wasn't underwater. It was on the ground. They found it in Micronauts. It's like...
Micronauts, yeah.
Microbots, yeah, sorry. Anyway, thanks, Chris. You could have just skimmed it. Anyway, whatever.
No, Baron Karza used the Heart of Cybertron to take over the Microverse.
I miss you.
I don't let him get by.
Go ahead, JD.
Anyway, so there was a bit of controversy though at the time because some of the people were crying foul because they're saying no the ship wasn't underwater then it was, and there was just some confusion because people got confused between the Decepticon ship that got built and crashed into the water and became the base, and then the one that was found on land.
Yeah,
was a lot of fun to try to explain.
Yeah, there was two schools of confusion. One was like, well, no, because it was in a mountain, so why was it underwater? And then there were other people who forgot that there was an original ship and thought that the one that was the undersea headquarters for all of the cartoon was this one, and it was taken out of the water. So why did it was? And then of course there were the people who got all flustered because they called it the wrong name. It wasn't the Star Drive. Remember that? Remember that? Oh yeah.
I want to call it the Dark Side. It's just I like that name, Dark Side. I guess I'm thinking.
But how do you spell it?
Yeah.
Beast Wars had that already.
Yep.
Of course they didn't. I mean, that was exactly the same situation as the Star Drive, where people deliberately and willfully misinterpreted a line. But it's just that somebody actually canonized that for Beast Wars.
So basically, they flesh some things out. I don't remember the ship ever being described as the most powerful Decepticon warship ever. I mean, I mean, yeah, but suffice it to say, any Decepticon warship against some Maximals, they're outnumbered. So, but basically, yeah, the episode, part 1 ends off with the ship being resurfacing and Megatron being in a pretty good spot for the next episode. Which pretty much starts off with the reading of the Covenant of Primus, which it starts off with I am the Alpha and the Omega. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is Furman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Totally.
episode hardly opens, and you're just like, oh, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
But at the time, I think we were all eating it up.
Oh God, yes.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yes. I mean, I remember I first saw this one on video.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even because it was because I think we've talked the last time I was talking about Optimal Situation earlier this year, only on video in the UK. So I saw these on video one after the other.
Yeah, people weren't posting these.
Right
people weren't posting these to the interwebs back then, like they did with Car Robots.
Yeah.
Or even Beast
If they
Machines.
did, it was very tiny. It was like a postage stamp.
If I remember correctly, Beast Machines aired in Canada first, so I think
Beasties?
No, Beast Machines.
Or did they still call it Beast Machines when it finally got to that?
It was Beast Machines.
Yeah,
it was
Beast Machines.
So it was consistent between the two. I wish I still called it Beasties though. Yeah, for people watching, and when we're saying Beast Wars, if you're from Canada, it's Beasties. They weren't even posting these episodes on the internet yet because it was 1999, right?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. But so basically, the Nemesis is facing off against Tigerhawk. Tigerhawk's doing a pretty good.
Remember him?
Yeah,
Don't worry, nobody does.
I like Tigerhawk.
He was okay. I mean, for the 10 minutes that he was there.
Yeah.
He was just weird.
Like, who can I kill? We're not going to do him. Yeah, we are. Do him. No, we're not doing him. Kill him. Oh, wait, we did him after all.
He was this weird
How
quasi.
can I look awesome enough that people will buy me?
This quasi-spiritual, strange hybrid between Airazor and Tigatron, supposedly like their offspring or something, or a cross between them. Or them. But he was insanely powerful, and he actually did a pretty good job holding off the Nemesis to begin with, and then he didn't.
He had that thing where it's like like new characters that are completely overpowered initially, and then eventually wane over time. Except that arc just went really fast. It's like you're insanely powerful and you're dead. Okay.
He didn't press the X button fast enough and lost the beam struggle.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Oh, man.
So the high points in this episode, basically, Optimus finds his way aboard the Nemesis, and he faces off against Megatron, and Megatron says, "Okay, have at it, that Destiny and Honor speech," and Primal just punches him.
Yeah.
Speech this.
Yeah, that was
very Furman again. Very
yes,
Furman.
That was a great Furman-esque scene. But what happened though, because Dinobot 2 and Rampage shared a spark, with Rampage out of the way, Dinobot has his spark back, or he has a spark for the first time. Dinobot 2 is a clone of Dinobot. And
I think anyone who watches this will know exactly what Dinobot 2 is.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's like this was like this biggest stretch. I mean, I think maybe for me.
Although, do we want to go into that whole Dark Glass, what might have been thing with him again?
We almost have to briefly though to explain why in the hell he's not. Like, yeah, this is great. I have my own spark. Then he jumps on Primal himself and starts killing him. Supposedly, in the unproduced script Dark Glass, if you didn't know, Dinobot writes his memory banks to a data disk.
No, well, he's seen doing that in
So
an episode that I can't remember which right now.
That was one that he died in, wasn't it? Or the one?
It was the one right before that.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's right. But they actually did something with that.
Yeah, Rat Trap found him and tried to put them in Dinobot 2. Basically, that was the plot. Basically,
yeah, he wrote it. He did implant it in, but then it didn't take, and so that's why when he completes his spark, it's supposed to be as though that's everything coming together. Basically, spark plus consciousness equals now he's Dinobot.
Yeah.
Why he remembers things that weren't copied to the backup drives, who knows? But
what happened after he did the copy? Yeah.
Right. But whatever.
Yeah. But
maybe it was like wireless. It was constantly updating. It was in the cloud.
There you go. Yeah.
Kind of like my X-Fi card or whatever I have on my camera. It connects directly to my computer whenever I take a photo.
Game sync.
Yeah.
It's like Dropbox.
It's like Dropbox. There you go. It's like Dropbox.
Yeah, there you go.
He was setting up his Dropbox account for his memory backup.
You know, honest to God, 13, 14 years ago, we wouldn't have thought of that. But now, in 2013, it makes perfect sense.
It's reasonable now.
It's entirely reasonable. There was a Dinobot Dropbox.
Yep.
But yeah, basically though, Dinobot pretty much helps Prime by pretty much sending information over to the Ark. It's like, hey guys, you have a shuttle in there that you can use to attack us. They had to infer all of that, but they were given the schematics.
Hey, Rhinox is smart. He figured it out.
Yeah, Rhinox has brains. Pretty much slams into the Nemesis. Yada yada yada. Megatron, Dinobot dies. Megatron survives. He's strapped at the top of the shuttle. They go off into space. The end. There's Beast Wars. And
everybody complained because they cut that one scene out.
Yeah, they put G1 Megatron's spark back.
Yeah.
Which then also caused more controversy. Boy, it was fun back in the day when we only had one place to complain, wasn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
By
this point, Allspark wasn't around yet. No.
Nope.
No, not quite.
Nope.
Dang.
Yep, we only had one place to complain.
Bot talk.
BWTF was there, but I don't know if its forums had shut down by that point.
Or Big Bot.
Mm-hmm. Big Bot. Oh, God.
Or Big Bot.
But yeah, so pretty much the only thing left after that is Waspinator is happy at last.
Running the humans for about 5 minutes until they kick him off the planet.
Until the next series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a good ending for him, though.
Yeah. It's really
yeah.
Cool. But yeah, it's part 2. You know, even though it's Furman, I think it still stands up today. I don't think it's as solid as some of the other episodes from the series, of course, but for a series finale, as far as Transformers goes, I think it's near the top. I mean, it's more satisfying than, I don't know, I would say it's more satisfying probably than the animated ending.
Yeah, no question. Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, true.
I would say probably Prime, not counting Predacons Rising, rather, but the final episode of Prime, and Beast Machines probably had better final episodes.
Oh yeah, the green smudge on Cybertron. Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't look so good, but it's very much a it does everything. You know, it's not struggling to cram everything in the way that Nemesis is.
Yeah, and not only one thing we mentioned as far as that is like there's so many outside references in these 2 episodes, in particular in the last one. I think between these last 2 episodes,
Starbase Rugby,
3H,
Targeting Grid 3H.
Was there? There's an M-Cypher reference in here. And again, like I mentioned on the show last week, 1/3 of BMOG has slept on my couch. So at least one Beast Wars reference has slept on my couch.
And there's a lot of great visual references to everything too, like when they have the tractor beam on the Ark and you see all the stuff floating around.
Yes.
Yeah, all the little
couple of things like that. The very also moment in the episode as well when Black Arachnid takes
basically circumcises Rat Trap by proxy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that was the most surprising thing I saw because I was like, wow, that's pretty overt.
Now, did that part make the Fox Kids cut? I wonder.
I don't think so. I want to say that did get cut.
I could see that. I could see that one being left out.
Or
maybe in the intervening years they've caught on to it. If anyone aired Beast Wars again nowadays, I think they would cut that part out.
I think if anyone aired Beast Wars nowadays, it would probably pretty much be uncensored.
Yeah, I would think so too.
I would think so.
I don't know.
It's not like the '90s Spider-Man cartoon.
No, but it's hard to say. Cartoons that was whenever everybody was, back in the 90s, everybody was pushing one way and censors had to push back another way. And I think shows these days have kind of found the balance of how far you can go. There's not many shows today, not knocking today's shows or anything, but there's not many shows today that are really out there trying to push the envelope,
Mm-hmm.
And just try and squeeze in suggestive things the way things were in the 90s.
Yeah.
Seeing what they could get away with.
Yeah, between Beast Wars and like Animaniacs and...
Yeah, that was what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Finger or Prince.
And remember Rocco's Modern Life?
I loved Rocco's Modern Life.
I don't
He got away with so much crap that would never fly
Yeah,
today.
it was cable too.
Yeah.
But yes.
Rocco's Modern Life aired in a weird time slot over here. I don't count it.
So as far as
It's only because it's here.
as far as Nemesis Part 2 goes, did anyone? So Dinobot's second death. You know, it's certainly not the first, but I watch it and I still get a little emotional with that. It's just kind of like salt in the wound. Because, I mean, by this point, I'm still like, you know, watching Beast Wars all the way through. I'm still pretty much torn up over Dinobot because I love Dinobot, and this is just it's a cheap way of inserting emotionality back into the show. Because you know who else? I mean, they kill Inferno, right?
They kill everybody.
They kill Inferno. They kill Quick Strike.
Strike's there, yeah.
And
Depth Charge. Tiger Hawk goes out.
Yeah, but like the core cast pretty much left, you know, intact. Other than Inferno,
until Beast Machines anyway.
Yeah, except for Inferno and Quick Strike,
because they're still alive in Beast Machines.
They're core cast.
Mm-hmm.
But
all that living.
Yeah, but Dinobot's second death still tugs at me just a little bit. I have to admit.
No, not at all. No effect.
I'm sorry.
No, can't say as it's anything for me.
Yeah, that's just you, Brian.
Not that much, no.
I love Dinobot. I really do. So, anything else with the episode, guys?
Rhinox hit Megatron with a car.
Yeah, that was totally a thing that happened. Brilliant.
Radio Free Cybertron has teamed up with Kokomo Toys and Collectibles in Kokomo, Indiana. If you're in the Kokomo area, visit our store for a huge selection of new and classic toys. Visit online at www.kokomotoys.com for our address and store hours. While you're there, check out our listing of pre-order items, as well as visit our eBay store. Visit us at www.kokomotoys.com. That's KOKOMOTOYS.com. We're also on Facebook.
You boys a bit bored? Snap into it! Snap into a Slim Jim!
Hey gang, it's Rob, and this week's question comes from our friend Aaron E. Doyle. Aaron E. Doyle asks, "Hello Rob, I would like you to settle the age-old question, is Rumble blue or is Frenzy blue? Thank you." That rhymed. I've never really cared. I mean, I seriously haven't. It's like, I've always been someone who's able to take something in the context of something. So, you watch the show, Rumble's blue, Frenzy is red. So in the context of the show, Rumble's blue, Frenzy's red. But in the toys, of course, and I think in the comics, you know, it was reverse. Because, you know, well, the producers of the cartoon made a mistake. You know, so in the context of toys and comics, it's the reverse. And in the Japanese cartoon where they had, well, the Japanese dub of the American cartoon where they had time to fix the mistake, they basically just renamed Rumble and Frenzy so it won't be any confusion. So really, to me, it's always been whoever is who in the context. And I never really got the Rumble is red thing either. He's mostly black. So, you know, to me the whole Ribfur thing is flawed to begin with. You know, Rumble's is mostly black with red extremities. Why do you keep saying red? You know, I'm gonna level with you, Aaron. I've always thought it was pretty stupid. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever taken it serious, but the fact that it's been heatedly debated when it's just like, hey, look, in the cartoons, it just is. Everywhere else it seems to be, and the cartoons are advertisement for the toys. It's not like Hasbro made the mistake. It's Sunbow. My lips look really red for some reason. I'm eating some soup, and I think there's a lot of coloring or something in it. That's weird. Audio listeners will be like, what's this loony Ben talking about? But yeah, Aaron, to me it's always been just in the context of the situation. I mean, that might sound like a cop-out answer, but let's just face facts. You watch Batman. All right. Batman's parents was killed by Joe Chill in like old comics. And then in the Tim Burton movie, Joker killed him. Early Joker, but Joker killed him. So it's like, well, did Joe Chill kill him no matter what this movie says? No, in the context of this movie, the Joker killed him. You know, it's just that. That's it. I've always been able to hold things in the context of. That's really it. So you guys on the internet, keep fighting the inane fight, and I'll keep being kind of nonplussed about it. It's worked for me all this time. Ooh, that was a cough. Well, thanks everyone for listening, and I hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving. Or by the time you've watched it, Thanksgiving's over, and I hope you've enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And if you participated in the Black Friday stuff, I totally am. Hope you guys got some good deals and didn't get punched out over a picture frame. So, for Rob and everyone else, happy holiday. And hey, Topher poked fun at me for saying check me out, and I'm like, yeah, I do say that a lot. But check us out. RoboRobSpringer.tumblr.com. That's my blog. You can ask me a question there, or you can send all your questions to rob@tfradio.net. Or just check out tfradio.net for all the many ways to connect. Contact us. You can do. There are various social means or whatever. Just any of the ways to contact us. Shoot us a question. All right. So thanks everyone for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time. Let's see what the Funky Bunch is up to. Yeah. Bye.
You can hear our show on Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher allows you to listen to your favorite shows directly from your iPhone, Android phone, BlackBerry, or Palm phones. On demand and on the go. Don't have Stitcher? Download it for free today at Stitcher.com or in the app stores. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Hey, Rob Springer.
Yes.
You haven't been on in a while.
Have not.
You have so you do the weekly Q&A segment, which is awesome. I love you doing that. People can find you and ask questions through Twitter at Rob Springer?
Yeah, Rob Springer. Twitter, Tumblr, same address. Or Rob Springer, Rob at tfradio.net, or ask me anywhere, because some people are like asking on the Facebook page, like Xavier did that one day, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll answer it here.
Yeah, we have some questions too on our Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com/tfradio and you click the it's a contact button, we have some questions there that I guess we'll answer. I guess we'll answer. I say it like, I guess we'll answer those. No, but we'll get to them. But yeah, so there's lots of ways you can reach out to us, and I really like having the segment because I personally haven't been great about feedback and responding to stuff, and it's really a gap in my part. I just like, one, having you on the show, and two, you answering questions is just solid gold. So thank you for doing that each week.
Well, it works because you say, hey, give me a segment. I'm like, about what? And I have to like really come up with something. And most of the time when I'd send you a segment prior to the RTM1 experiment, it was like 5 minutes before, what am I going to talk about? So the questions, it's like, it really gives me something to work with. For someone who doesn't shut up as much as I do, I generally need something to talk about. So, and if you leave me to my own devices, it's like, do you guys like cartoons?
I like cartoons. Yeah, I was actually... go ahead.
No, I say I like them.
So I've actually been thinking about some things that I'd like to bring back that we've done in the past that we haven't really that had a lot of potential. I like This Week in History. We kind of dropped that. I think with some structure, I think that works. I really like to bring back Twitter Theater. We have
that was awesome.
We have Transformers Rewind, but I think Twitter Theater is like a really shortened version of that, where it's just like we watch something crazy and just laugh about it for about 3 or 4 minutes. I always enjoyed doing that. I think we need to bring that back.
When I first came up with Twitter Theater, it was the original, what you guys are doing now. Because I was like, hey, let's do a cartoon club. It's like, this is boring. Yeah, you're right. Hey, look, he's dancing. No, you guys, I really like that segment. I think that's one of my favorites when I'm listening to the. I listen, like I say, every week. I was like, I really like that part. Of course, I kind of wish I was watching the segment with you guys commenting on it, but whatever.
We need to make that happen.
I need to stop working 1 million hours a week.
I
Really,
just
I
remember
do.
the
I'm dying.
I just remember the one you guys did where it was like the girl sleeping with Optimus Prime in bed.
No, evil.
Yeah, no.
That's
That
my.
Oh my
exist
god!
anymore.
I remember. Oh my god!
Oh man, that's called a flashback right there.
Just collapsed.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
Don ate
just
jars of
remembered.
mayonnaise for supper, and we just creeped him out. Okay.
Oh man.
You tried to block it out, Don, but you can't.
Yeah,
it didn't
it
happen.
came
That
back.
was the worst thing ever.
So, Rob,
It was like,
yeah, that was just crazy. So, Rob, I know you have a blog on Tumblr. It's the Trapper Keeper Death Cult.
Trapper Keeper Death Cult.
Yeah.
I'm good with names.
It's clever. We actually have a Tumblr. It's been often neglected, but I've been updating it for the last week or so,
Right.
and everyone should follow us on Tumblr. It's pretty awesome. It's tfradio.tumblr.com.
Tumblr is one of those weird things. It's a blogging platform disguised as a social media. So it's kind of like 1 quarter LiveJournal, 1 quarter Twitter, and
I know.
your old GeoCity site.
I loved LiveJournal so much, and it's dead, effectively.
I deleted mine a long time ago just because whatever. But before I did, I got put in a book through mine because there's basically a robot hunting live journals, and basically it's just I think the word was I feel, and that's where it would pick up or whatever. So they wrote me say, hey, is it okay if we use this? Like, okay, I'm deleting the thing. And they're like, okay. So they sent me the book after I deleted the live journal for payment for using basically. You'll remember this, Kilby, when I had hair. Knee on the back cover.
Oh, yeah. I remember when you had hair.
Yeah. That was the history. Yeah, I was like, man, why don't anyone else do crazy stuff like that? Because you don't see books on MySpace. Well, it's probably for best you'll see books on MySpace.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, nice dancing GIF. Actually, I would like to see a book on dancing GIFs. Hey, Don, can you write one?
Yes.
I want you specifically. Please. Rob Clay said he'll help you. Rob, agree with me. Agree with me, Rob.
No,
See, Rob,
I'm not one to take commissions this time.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not, there's no commission. I'm not paying you. I'm just asking this as a favor, between men.
Okay.
Bald men unite.
Hey, Rob Clay. So you haven't been on in a while. Tell us about what you're doing right now with Flail-Throughs.
Still mostly we're focusing on Minecraft, and I'm still doing Gundam Battle Operation every week. So, and I'm also doing a game at the moment called FTL, Faster Than Light.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Hey, so are you ever going to get to, or do you have the ability to play through the, or would you want to, the Japanese G1 game for the PS2?
I do not currently have the ability to play import PS2 games. Otherwise, I would probably give it a shot.
Because, I posted that your attempted playthrough of Mystery of Convoy, and I really enjoyed watching that. I'd really like to squeeze in. What I really want to do, actually, going back to segments, John DeLuna and I have been talking for the longest time about doing not like a long-term, but like a short-term recurring segment on Transformers in video games. Like maybe a 5 to 10 minute thing a week on like going through, taking like a game, like the Japanese G1 game for PS2, showing some footage, talking about it, and kind of like Transformers Rewind, but for video games. I really want to do that. We really need to do that someday.
That's really cool.
Could be good.
Would it just be official or like ROM hacks too?
Oh, I would do ROM hacks. I would totally.
Because there's that Dinobot Super Mario 2 one that's hilarious.
Oh, I knew there's Super Dinobot Brothers. I didn't know there was a Dinobot 2.
Oh yeah. And there's one. It's not a ROM hack. It's actually basically probably the first third-party thing ever made. Sega made a Transformers game in the UK that wasn't official. It's just called Transformer, and you play Omega Supreme.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like right toward the end of G1. You can Google it up. It's like I think it'll work on your MAME. Well, it will work on your MAME. What am I saying? But it's like a shoot 'em up, and you play Omega Supreme, or it could be Omega Supreme just colored wrong. But dude, it's Mega Supreme.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's just called Transformer, not Transformers, because hey, that S is a lot of words. And it's literally like IP infringement when Hasbro's like, this crap's dying, no one cares.
That's pretty sweet. If you guys would be interested, let's talk about that and maybe make that happen. I would love to do
I think
that.
there was a version of that for the Master System too.
Probably is, because a lot of those old Sega games, whoever would code them, I just stuttered. The contract would only cover like the name and one or two sprites a lot of times. So like your Monster Boy games became games on other systems. Like Adventure Island was Wonder Boy, and like Wonder Boy Dragon's Curse is just Dragon's Curse on everything. They just like changed a sprite or two, and that was it. So it's probably on like a million things, and we just don't know about it.
Yeah.
Especially if Westwood or West something made it. It's like it's probably on everything with 1,000 names.
Let's see here. So, and Melvar, you're not like really active on social media. I know you don't have a Facebook page. Do you have Twitter?
No, I'm not on Twitter either.
Well, here you are. That's great.
So don't follow Melvar and don't friend him.
Please don't follow
Don't friend him.
Yes.
Don't follow him. Basically, don't listen to anything he says. He doesn't care to share his opinion.
Just like everybody else.
And JD, when are you bringing Fanboy Versus back?
I am looking at sometime after the new year, so should be sometime in the next month. Actually, I guess I should plan on that.
Yeah, if you need any help with that, let me know. Like planning and stuff, not like being on it. I'd have to read comics.
No, I have to start reading comics again too. I guess.
Not that I don't read comics. I'm reading Ultimate Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man and Batman, and that's it.
Yeah, I've got to get caught up. I'm way behind. So,
but is Superior Spider-Man the one where he's mind switched with somebody?
Yeah,
he's not mind switched. He would have to have someone else to be switched with.
Okay.
His mind has been over
again with Spider-Man instead of Kirk Cameron.
No, his mind has been overwritten by Doc Ock.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Peter's dead.
Gotcha. That's right.
Sorta.
I kind of wrote off modern comics just because it's so
a good bop to the head will fix this. So
yeah, maybe.
Let's just New 52. Like, hey, now Spider-Man's back, guys. It's good.
Don't talk about New 52.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so like I said, you can find us on Tumblr at tfradio.tumblr.com. We are also on Facebook at facebook.com/tfradio, Twitter at tfradio, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's pretty important. We need more subscribers.
We'll give you all high fives over.
Yeah. We have lots of awesome videos. In fact, we're actually streaming this episode on YouTube because I finally figured out how to do it.
Whoa.
Brian found the magic button.
I found the button. There's a button that says start streaming. And I didn't realize it was a button.
Is it the same one that says F you to Google Plus? For like Christ's sake, just let me watch something.
Yeah. But yeah, so that we are on YouTube as TF Radio Network. It's pretty sweet. JD, how do we find you again?
Huh?
How do we find you?
The JD Church is pretty much me lots of places.
Diecast?
I'm at Diecast2 on Twitter, and apparently now I'm going to have to get a Tumblr.
You can just manage our Tumblr. We could. I would gladly hand it over to you if you want to post to it.
It would be more traction.
I'll send you the password. Rob Clay on Twitter. You are
Flail-throughs and RAC 2750.
Rob Springer.
Yo, you just said it.
Perfect. And Don.
Oh, Robo Rob. I'm sorry. Add in the Robo because we got to make fun of me, and that's it.
Robo Rob Springer.
Yes. Add everything. It's like I'm.
I'm at HM. I need complete silence before I can speak. I'm at HMRC EVR.
He has it written on his monitor. That way he doesn't forget. He's like, I'm at HMRC. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
or
going to
EVR,
shoot us
and
all.
that was an in-joke for JD to pick up on.
Yeah. I don't get it. So that'll be the show for this week, guys. Thank you all for being here.
We hope you had a great holiday.
And from, I guess, I will say it because it's corny. From our family to yours, we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.
Don, Thanksgiving's already happened by the time anybody hears this.
Yeah, by the time anybody else sees this.
Okay, we hope
That's
you had a good
the
Hope no one's killed anyone
wow,
shopping.
way to just go right over what I said, though. Good job, Don.
And a special thank you for both Rob showing up this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come back. We miss you, Rob Clay. And
work at a better time. What's up with that?
And Rob Springer, you need a new job so you can be on.
I love to work in the daytime because I'm like, one day I was literally driving home and the sun started coming up and I like, what the hell is that? Like, I was really confused for a second. Like, there's all this light coming over. Where I was like, I pulled over. What the hell's going? Oh, sun. That's what my life.
The day star.
And Melvar, thank you for coming on this week. See you back
for having me.
See you back in a couple weeks, maybe.
Sure, just let me know.
Awesome. Okay, for the guys, I am your host, Brian Kilby. We will be back next week. See you later.
This has been Radio Free Cybertron. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live. Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment? Leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons license. Any part of this podcast can and should be redistributed, but please, proper attribution is required if you know what's good for you.